So I just picked up a book that I have been very excited to read because I'd never read this material before. But now it is finally time to talk about the new X-Men Omnibus by Grant Morrison. So let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Geek City. Now I'm not doing as many comic book overviews as I've done in the past, and that's not really intentional. It just kind of has turned out that way that a lot of the books I've been picking up are already been, they're very popular and they've already been reviewed a bajillion times. But this is what I wanted to talk about, especially because I'm doing an X-Men reading order. That's why I needed this, because I needed it for, because it's very important. And we'll talk about that, because this is going to be a spoiler review. I'm going to do my basic thoughts at the very beginning, because usually what I do is I do it at the end, but I'll just go ahead and get it out of the way after I look at everything. So first I'm going to show you, what it collects and everything, and then I'll talk about my basic thoughts, and then, I will talk about spoilers. You can still look at the artwork, but just mute your phone or whatever you're watching it on. But I will be talking spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you can leave after the non-spoiler review, and I will let you guys know when that is. So here we are. Here's this cover by Frank Quietly. I believe it's pronounced Frank Quietly. A new X-Men here. Got the Marvel logo. This is from the first issue that he did. So Grant Morrison, this was Chris Claremont had just returned on the X-Men, but Marvel was like, hey, so you're gonna go do another X-Men series, Extreme X-Men, and we're gonna let a newer writer at the time, because Grant Morrison was newer at the time. Hey, we're gonna let this newer writer come in and write the main X-Men story. And so Chris Claremont did Extreme X-Men, which I will not be talking about in the reading order because it's kind of its own thing. Extreme X-Men is a different between. It's not the main book. We'll talk about that during the reading order. So this is Grant Morrison's X-Men run. So again, here we have the cover. I love the Marvel Omnibus and all these omnibus. They look really good. Got another really cool with a photo of all of our X-Men: Beast, Cyclops, Emma Frost, Jean Grey, and Wolverine. X-Men, new X-Men by Grant Morrison. And what I love about this logo, as I'm sure was intentional, whatever side you look at it, it says new X-Men. Let me show you. So here it says new X-Men, as you can see, right? But then you flip it to the other side, and it still says new X-Men. Either way you look at it, it's pretty cool. You can't do it on that side, but that's pretty cool. Here are all of the covers. Evolution, Revolution, Extinction, question mark. There's a new major villain that appears in here. That will be appearing in a new Marvel movie soon, and we'll talk about that when we get there. There we go. We'll turn the light on. So this collects new X-Men 114 through 154, and the new X-Men Annual 2001. And if you're asking yourself, hey, wait, new X-Men was around before this? Technically not. So basically what this was the X-Men series that was started by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. That X-Men, the X-Men #1, they kept that going even after Jim Lee and Chris Claremont left. And so this became the main book, which I think Uncanny X-Men was still going on, but this was kind of the main series. So here are all of our covers. A ton of different artists on here. So let's take this dust jacket off. Look at the covers. We got some stuff about the team, some more artwork. And here is the art on the board. Hold on. I wish that they chose something else. I don't know why. I feel like this is from the annual. I feel like they could. Alright, so let's not waste any time and start the overview. And let's first talk about my non-spoiler review. So you have this nice blue paper here. And while we're doing it, I will look at the variant covers just so I don't end up, spoiling something. We'll go to the variant covers in the back here. Alright, look at all this. Alright. Look at all this extra artwork. Alright. So overall, I think this is a great jumping on point for X-Men. This has been well known, and I've always, wanted to read this because I love X-Men, and I'm glad I finally picked it up here. This is just such a great story. Grant Morrison is one of the best comic book writers of all time, so Why am I surprised? This is just such a good story arc. Now, since it's an omnibus, inherently there are going to be a few flaws in the story because there are certain arcs and issues that are really boring. But that happens when you're, an omnibus collecting the entire run. Some issues are better than others. So although a lot of the just overall big plots and stories are really good, there are a few issues in there every now and then. It's like, really, this is boring. But that's normal with omnibuses, especially when they're collecting runs by authors. That's normal. I mean, that happened with Jeff Johns' Green Lantern, Batman by Grant Morrison. I mean, that's very, very common because not every single issue is going to be great. You're going to have a few ones that are just like, ugh. But there are a lot of great ones in here. I like the artwork. Frank Quitely's artwork is really divisive. Some people love it, some people don't. I like it. There are a lot of other great artists in here, so I don't really care about that. So here's some of the... That's kind of the movie one there. Looks like the movie. Yeah. That's a cool cover right there. So yeah, I think that this is... If you have not read any X-Men and you want to start, this is a great jumping on point. You don't need to know a ton about the X-Men in order to understand the story. Oh, that's a cool cover right there. That's a cool book. Got the Uncanny X-Men. I guess, I'm assuming this is kind of like giant size X-Men here. Like, based on that. There's some Michael Turner artwork. So yeah, that's kind of my basic thought. It's great jumping on point. A lot of really cool moments in here, but we will talk about the cool moments in the spoiler review. So if you don't want to be spoiled, this is where you would, mute the video and just look at the artwork. That's where we have this blue paper here. Alright, so for my spoiler people, this first arc is one of my favorite. It introduces this character right here, this mysterious character with Cassandra Nova, and she's going to be in the new Deadpool Wolverine movie. So that's cool. This is kind of the book that, introduces her. So perfect timing that I get this book like 2 weeks before the movie comes out. God, I can't wait for that. But I really enjoyed a lot of the stories in here. Like this first one where Cyclops and Wolverine are on a mission and they rescue this mutant that has like 3 faces. And then you have Cassandra Nova doing this thing. And that's when you have Genosha being blown up. It's crazy. So I believe it was 16 million mutants killed. That's crazy. 16 million mutants? That's a lot. So that was very shocking. Because Genosha's been around for a while. And so the fact that they just... this is the first 3 issues of the run. And Grant Morrison's like, I'm just gonna, kill, 16 million mutants. Hope that's cool. And that's when Emma Frost joins. So this is when Emma Frost is, full-on X-Men member. So, in case you haven't seen already, the team consists of these 5 right here, including Professor X. Professor X is kind of in and out of this part, because, there's one part where his mind's kind of, taken over by Cassandra Nova. And then there's another point where he can walk. A lot of cool stuff in here. There's a lot of relationship issues with Cyclops and Jean, and that very much amplifies all throughout the story, and is setting up something with the Phoenix. Look at this artwork. I love this artwork. There's some, especially later on. It's a nice Terminator reference. There's some stuff, especially later on, that looks like old John Byrne artwork. We'll talk about that when we get there. So another great thing about this is it's showing that there's just so much hate for mutants. Jean Grey's doing this little press, it's right here, actually, let me find it. She's doing this little press conference for mutants, and you can just see that so many people genuinely hate mutants, and all throughout the run, you can see these people protesting against the mutants and all that, and how there's just so much hate for them. I really like that stuff, and I think it's really good. It really just shows the hatred for these mutants, and the X-Men having to prove that, mutants are good, There ain't nothing wrong with being mutant. Which has always been something with the X-Men, but I think especially in this run, Grant Morrison really tackled that a lot. There's a lot of that in here about mutant hate all throughout here. Let me see, we're close to another story arc right here where, let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it. Okay. Anyway, there's just a lot of that in there. I really like that aspect of the X-Men about there's hate for mutants, and they are proving a point that mutants are good. That's a great thing about the X-Men, and that's shown in here. So again, this Frank Quitely artwork, a lot of people don't like it, and I get it. I get why a lot of people don't, because it's weird. But again, there are a ton. But sorry I had to do a little cut there. But anyway, there are a ton of different artists on here, and once we get later on in the book, I'll talk about one artist. I don't know his name. I should probably look that up. But there's just a great artwork that just reminds me of John Byrne. I don't know if that's just me, but this also has some of my favorite Magneto moments. There is one moment. This is why I had to do a spoiler review, because there's one moment I have to talk about that I think everybody who's read this knows what I'm talking about here in this omnibus. Also, I like that a lot of the students are focused on. Like, a lot of the students get to learn about them. So there's one part right here. Let's see if I can get to it. Okay, so this is the artist right here, I think. I don't know. The Emma Frost and Cyclops affair. Okay, yeah, this artist right here reminds me so much of John Byrne. Like, look at that. It looks like John Byrne, like a modern John Byrne. I love this artwork right here. This really looks like John Byrne to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I haven't seen anybody say that. I don't know. It's like those eyes and everything, the faces look very John Byrne-y to me. John Byrne is whenever X-Men was, brought back with Chris Claremont and all that for Uncanny X-Men and everything. John Byrne was, the writer who was, he's one of the greatest writers and artists in the comic book genre. He helped make Dark Phoenix Saga and all that stuff. Let me find. I don't know if I can find the specific page with the Magneto moment that I'm talking about. But let's just say Jean Grey is killed. But it's wild. It's really shocking. It's great stuff. With Magneto and all that. That stuff was crazy. Let me see if I can find it. This right here. This really that looks like John Byrne. I don't know. Here's the Magneto in here. Let me see if I can find the page with Look at that. Again, Frank Quitely is not the only artist on here. I'm trying to find that page with Jean Grey. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, look what Cyclops does to hold on. Here we are. We're close. Yeah, look, dude. Yeah, Jean Grey's done for a while. She's dead. It's not the Phoenix. Actual Jean Grey. Jean Grey is dead. Look at that artwork. I love that. Love this art. Oh, look at that. Mark Silvestri. Great artist. I love this artwork. Mark Silvestri artwork. Look at that. This is when he quits. Then there's a lot of stuff with Beast. Beast all throughout this run, where basically, he's kind of like turning more into a beast, and so it's kind of him having to overcome that. Like, he talks about it, and I like that. I think that's cool, because Beast is, transforming more into like a quote-unquote monster, and that's shown, and he talks about that a lot, even from like the very beginning. Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be where we wrap it up for today. Just overall, I really enjoyed this book. Great X-Men stuff. This is a great jumping on point for new readers. And there's not much I can say about this that hasn't been said before, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like if you did. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of this run, or what other X-Men books you would suggest. And as always, stay geeky.